interest. We keep it so real and you just pretend.
We make it popular.
We the ones that will shine. We 10 steps ahead and you just behind.
Well, hold up.
I think I hear a little hater in the room.
Hi everyone, so this is my first YouTube video. Okay, no, it's not the truth. So I've had this channel for, when I was looking at it, probably like 7 years now, and I started to post stuff back then. I started a YouTube channel, but I wasn't consistent. But something's been nagging me for the past year to start a YouTube channel. And by the way, for all my subscribers, thank you. And any new subscribers, once again, I'm reintroducing myself. So my name is Dejha B, and I'm the owner and creator of Dejha B Coloring, which is a coloring book brand for all ages that have beautiful illustrations that help you get creative. It helps you get inspired. It represents us. You can see two of them on my wall. Yes, and I have 13 coloring books out now. I'm working on a children's book. I'm a film director. I have my film played at Essence Film Festival at Essence Festival. I've been featured in Ebony Magazine, Essence. My coloring books has been sold in H&M. If you live in New York City, I've been on Channel 11, Channel 12, multiple media, and that's something that I could teach you guys as well. So this time around, because I feel like this time is gonna pop, right? This time around, I'm gonna be doing vlogs, like travel vlog. I travel a lot. I've been to Egypt, Thailand, you name it. I've been, not you name it, but you know, I've been traveling a lot, and I do a lot of solo travel. I do group travel and stuff like that. So, and when I travel, I travel nice. So I want you to see the behind the scenes of that. And I'm always doing something. Like I said, I'm into all these things, so I want to bring you along the journey. And I also want to drop some entrepreneur tips and, you know, get you inspired, make you some money and all that other stuff, because I believe in, you know, being outside the box. It's no reason for no one to be poor, and not saying like that, because when you have a creative mind, you always want to think of solutions to get you out of that. So I just want to get y'all in that mindset of, if there's a will, there's a way, and we're going to figure it out. I'm going to keep y'all up to date. I'm good at, you know, I've been learning about AI and all that good stuff. So, and then also too, I'm telling you now, I'm going to be like your best friend in your mind, or like your little cousin or your friend, the person that you always call about different things, because literally I get inboxes all the time from people. Can you help me with this? Can you give me advice about this? And I'm always like, okay, here, do this, do that, go to this. You know, I have a wealth of information. So that's why I wanted to, you know, do this YouTube channel. I'm also a mom. I have a son that's 9 years old, and then I have a daughter that's 19 that's away to college and all that other stuff. So you'll get to see them. I got a lot of family and friends and stuff like that. I'm also, oh, how can I forget? I also write poems. And I'm a rapper. I've been featured on the 90s R&B group Allure last single called I Do. They also was on my Christmas song as well. So I do a lot of stuff, right? And the reason being is, a lot of times people look at me like, oh, she's always doing this or she's always doing that. And, you know, I have a vision board that I put up there, and I always make sure that I'm, you know, manifesting, writing down stuff, and making sure my dreams come into reality. And the reason being that I do so much stuff, something happened to me years ago where I like lost every single thing. I was actually cleaning a church for my job for like 8 years. And because when I graduated from high school, I said I wanted to be a rapper. And of course, struggling artist, I was clean, I had my daughter, and I just wanted to have a job. And I remember losing that job. I mean, it was paying decent money, but not what I'm making now or anything like that. And I lost my job. Then a year later, I lost my apartment. I just lost everything. And I remember sitting on the couch and listening to, you know how BET in the morning time, like 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning, and they play church sessions and stuff like that. And it was a white preacher. I don't remember his name. Don't ask me. I don't know. I was half asleep. But I remember him saying, whenever you receive an idea, it's your job to make it come to life, right? And if you don't bring it to life, right, your gifts, if you don't bring it to life, you're going to do a disservice to the world. And I remember it shook me out of my sleep. And I made a promise to God. I said, any idea that you give me, that means it's for me and it's meant for me to bring it to the world. And if you get me out of this situation, if you make me have more money, have a good, career, make all my dreams come true, I promise you, any idea that you give me, I'm gonna make it come to life. I'm gonna help people. I'm gonna inspire people. So that, that is my story and that's my testimony. So I'm sorry if I'm rambling. You're gonna get used to that because I like to ramble all the time. My friend of mine, Janae, she always, when I tell her stuff, she was like, all right, get to the point, and I pay her no mind, and I still ramble because sometimes I feel like you gotta know the backstory to understand what I'm talking about now, right? So so I also teach something called it's like slipping my mind, Be the Boss for young entrepreneur girls, and I teach them different things. So I think that's something that I want to bring to you guys and teach you guys like how to brainstorm ideas, how to get your stuff in media. I don't have a PR person. I took a class during the pandemic, and and I learned how to do my own PR and marketing and stuff, and it's been up since then. And I could teach y'all. It's so, like, once you get to know and stuff like that, it's so easy, long as you, and I'm gonna walk y'all through it. We're gonna go through little steps, make sure you get your brand this way, your brand story this. So we gonna go through all of that. So one thing also, as a disclosure, right, that some things I can teach you, and then some things I could just redirect you and say, okay, look at this video or look at that, because some things I paid thousands of dollars for the information, and I don't want to, I want to be respectful to other people, information or courses and stuff like that. So I wouldn't give you like the whole shebang, but I could give you like a little tip and say, okay, here, look at this, or you could call this person or whatever like that. So just FYI. But a lot of times you could just send me questions and I could help you out, or I'll make a video about it like that. Okay. Also, although I have a thriving business, I'm also a contractor. I'm a senior business analyst for a government agency. So I do it all. So I'm never getting sleep. If you could see, well, my makeup is covering, under my eyes is black sometimes, but neither here nor there, right? So I pulled up some get to know you questions so you could get to know me a little better, right? So here's some fun little questions. So how tall am I? I believe I'm either 5'6", 5'7". It says, where am I from? I am from the boogie down Bronx and New York City. You know what's funny? I read a meme where it said, don't mess with girls from the Bronx. Just ask Papoose and what is Cardi B ex-husband name? I forget his name. But yeah, it was like, just ask stuff. Don't ask. And that's one thing about me. I'm super nice. I'm super cool and all that other good stuff. But if you mess with me and get on my bad side, it's a whole nother problem, and the Bronx do come out. But I know how to be professional when I need to be professional. Okay, so what is my zodiac sign? I'm an Aquarius. I have a chain that says I'm Aquarius. I'm actually born on February 17th, which is Michael Jordan's birthday, and also Paris Hilton. And also Huey P. Newton, and he's the he founded the Black Panthers. And it's so funny because I feel like I embody all of them, like Michael Jordan, like with the branding and just, trying to be on top of his game. Paris Hilton, truth be told, I always get into debates about Paris Hilton because people are like, oh, well, she was born into money, that's how she was able to get opportunity. But you know how many people that was born into money? She have other brothers and sisters that you don't know about. So she have tons of businesses. I think she have like over 50 something perfumes and product lines and stuff like that. So I study sometimes Paris Hilton and what she got going on, and she's like a humanitarian and stuff like that. So I love Paris Hilton. And with Huey P. Newton, if you know me, I'm like Black Power, for my people. I actually, like I said, I'm a rapper. I did a song called Freedom. and it's talking about police brutality. You could stream it on all platforms and stuff like that, and I'm talking about that in the history. And the cover, I actually recreated the cover of him, Huey P. Newton, sitting in the I think it's a wicker chair, and I had a what is it, a spear and a shotgun, or whatever the case may be. You know what's crazy? And like I said, here go my ADD brain rambling. In New York City, because when I tried to order the gun, like, they don't let you order fake guns to New York City on Amazon. Like, when they look at your address, they be like, no, you can't order it. I don't know what did I had to do. I think I had to go on eBay, or I had to have it sent to somebody else's house. It was so weird. And then I had to paint it so it could look real and all this other stuff. Maybe I'll insert the photo, or you could just stream it and you'll see the picture, right? What is the next questions? What is my hobbies? So my hobbies, honestly, anything creative. Most of my hobbies have turned into business, like I stated before. Coloring books. Right now I'm on I took an animation class, so I've been on that. I'll tell y'all more details about that. I want to get into animation and producing that. Another hobby that I have is, well, I haven't done it in so long, but making cakes. A lot of people, some people may or may not know, I had another business, a business while I was in school, going to college. I have a legal studies degree, and while I was going to school, to help me with money, you know, I used to make cakes, and I actually taught myself. And you know, a lot of my talent comes from me trying to rely on other people, or asking other people, and they not doing what they're supposed to do, or they don't want to do it. And I'm like, you know what, F this, I'm gonna learn it myself. So that's how that comes about. So it's probably a trauma response of how all my talents came about. So yeah, so I know how to make cakes, like how the cake boss. And I was doing this years ago. I did it for my daughter's 5th birthday party. My daughter is 19, so I learned this when she was like 4 years ago. So you do the math. So I know a lot of people are doing it now, but I've had and I'll see if I could get a link or something for you to see the old pictures. But I know how to do cakes that's in the shape of diaper bags, sneakers, high heel shoes. I know how to do 4-tier cakes, wedding cakes, cookies. I know how to design cookies, cake pops, cupcakes, you name it. Like how the cake boss is, I know how to do that. And the thing with the cake boss is he had other people like that specialize in this or that. Like when it was just me, I had to learn all those elements. Like people would send me a picture, and I'd be like, yeah, I could do that. Mind you, I ain't never do it in a day of my life. I never did it in a day of my life. And somehow, some way, the cake boss gods will help me out, and it will come out perfect. Matter of fact, backstory on this, right? This is another lesson, right? When I was learning, so I don't know if Michael's store still does this, but Michael's craft store, they had a back room, well, the one that I used to go to in the Bronx, and they would give classes where you could learn how to cakes, all type of stuff. So like I said, at the time, I wanted to give my daughter a 5th birthday party, and this is when those type of cakes just came out. So I'm used to, you know, back in the days when you used to have a party, you used to get a little cheap cake and call it a day, hot dogs and hot whatever, right, for your parties. We didn't have all these extravagant parties that we have now. So I remember asking, you know, because you saw the 2-3-tier cake, it was like $600-700, like $600-700, you know, because that was a shock for me back then to pay $600-700. Now it's normal, right? And I was like, I can't afford, like, because I wanted to do this and that, and it was a Candyland theme. So I wanted to have cupcakes, I wanted to have candy, lollipops. So I said, you know what, I'm gonna learn how to make this myself. So I went into Michael's craft store, and they had a beginners learn how to decorate class. So then they Wilton is a brand that have a lot of decorating supplies and stuff. If you go on Michael's, you should see. I haven't been in Michael's in so long, but yeah, you should see that brand. And Wilton have a starter kit, and that's what they require for you to go to the class. So it's like the piping. They have whatever you need, right, for the start of class. And then they gave you a list like, okay, come with cookies, come with icing, come with this, come with that, right? And like I said, I am not a baker. I didn't know anything about baking from scratch. So when they said cookies, I went to the corner store and I bought these packs of cookies, right? I bought a thing of icing from the supermarket and all this other stuff. So I get in a class and it's nothing but you could tell like they homemakers or they into baking, and they came with they homemade icing, homemade cakes. You had to bring in a cake to decorate. I bought in a cake. I probably bought in a pound cake. That's how oblivious I was to baking, and everybody was looking at me like I was crazy, and I was just like, oh yeah, like so happy-go-lucky just to be in a class. And they're like, store-bought icing, store-bought, I was like, whatever, right? So when I tell you I was the worst person in my class, worst person. When it's time to write, my handwriting looked all shaky. When it's time to ice, my stuff looking all crazy and stuff like that. And I remember telling the the lady that was teaching, and she said that she's been baking and decorating cakes for over 20-30 years now, whatever. And I remember saying, I told her, I said, I'm taking this class. This is how oblivious I am. I'm taking this class because I'm giving my daughter a 5th birthday party, and I'm showing a type of cake I want to make. I want to make the 3-kid cake with this. I want to make cake pops. I want to make this. I want to make that. And she looked at me and she was like, I don't even know how to do that stuff. Like, you got to be an artist, and you got to be a sculptor. Like, she was telling me all the stuff that you needed to be and skills that you had needed to have in order to make those type of cakes. And she's been doing it for 20 years and she doesn't even know how. So I shouldn't even think about it. And this was like a white woman that told me that, even though that doesn't matter, but I'm just telling you. So one thing about me, if you tell me I can't do something, it's like it lights a fire under my butt, and I'm gonna prove you wrong every time. And that's exactly what I did. So I took the class. I think I didn't even finish the class. I was like, whatever. So what I ended up doing, I started going on YouTube. And when I went on YouTube, it was teaching me, people was showing different stuff. And then they had something called Cake Central. I don't know if they still have that, but it was like a Facebook for bakers. And people would post their cakes, and then they would give instructions. And I would ask, well, how did you do this? And how did you do that? And I think I joined, I bought DVDs that showed you how to make pocketbook cakes. So it's like, once I learned the basics, man, it was on and popping. And that's what I did for my daughter's 5th birthday party. I think I probably started the night before, like when I got home from work. I didn't finish till like 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock in the morning. And when I tell you, them cakes came out fly. And then once I did that party, my friends and family was like, oh, this tastes good, this look good. Then people started ordering. Then the next following week, people said, oh, I want a cake the shape of a car. And I would say, yeah, I could do that, mind you. Like I said, I just started out. I don't even know if I could do it. And I would go online, and it was like, once I did one, it was a wrap. Because the thing with cake baking is, before, when I was on the outside looking in, you would just look at it and you see one whole thing. But then once you learn, you realize it's not one whole thing. It's not like with a sneaker. It's not like, oh, you just carving out looking like a sneaker or a purse. It's actually pieces that make up that sculpture. So I could look at a cake and say, okay, I need 2 round cakes this size. I need this that look like, I don't know if that's making sense, but it's pieces that go together to make it one shape, right? So once I figured that out, it was go time. So I was always getting orders every week, cupcakes, this, that, and like I said, every time they would ask me, it was always and it was a challenge for me. Like, oh yes, I love it. It was like a confident booster. So, but after a while, at first I wanted to open up a bakery, but cake making is very backbreaking. It's a lot of work. It's very, and now I understand why they charge a couple of hundred, sometimes a couple of thousand for those cakes, because it's really a lot of work. So I stopped doing it because then people ruin it, and the business part of it. I'm more of a creative. I mean, I've ended up becoming more business minded, but it was just too much for me. So yeah, once again, me rambling. So once again, I always say, don't let other people's something that they can't do, put that on you, because that don't have that don't have nothing to do with you. Like, she told me, oh yeah, I've been doing this for 20 years. If I can't do it, you can't do it. No, F that. If God give you that idea and say, this is what I want you to do, he gonna give you all the tools, all the people that you need to make things happen. So that is my constant prayer. God, bring me the people, bring me the information to make this idea a reality, right? So, okay, what was the next question? How would you define success? Me, I define success is just basically like whatever you want and you make it come true. That's success for me. I feel like I'm pretty successful. I always say, and my mother hate this and my friends hate that, I was like, God, if something was to happen to me today or tomorrow, I would be okay with it because I've lived my life. Like, the things, of course, I have so much other dreams and goals that I want to do, but I've lived and I've done a lot of stuff. So I'm okay with, of course, there's more stuff that I want to do, but success is basically, for me, whatever I say I'm going to do, I make it come to reality, right? What is my love language? What is my love language? So honestly, I like all of them, but I would say my top one, I did the test before and I can't remember. I think quality time is definitely, I'm the type of girl, and the thing with me, like, some people, I'm not a materialistic person, right? It could be, I'm not like, oh yeah, it gotta be this or whatever. It's just me. If I'm into you, we could literally go to the park and have ice cream and have a good time, and I'll be the best date in the world. That actually happened recently. Someone, just to get to know each other, we went to go get some ice cream, and it was cute and it was fun, and we talked and stuff like that, and we got to know each other. So me, definitely is quality time. Like, I love you, especially in the summertime. Yo, Dej, get ready, be ready by 8. I'm gonna come pick you up, scoop you up, be in a car, singing, be in a park, a picnic, everything that doesn't have to be expensive. They travel. Just like, if you are somebody that I'm into, I always look at it like, do I actually like this person? Do I like them as a friend? Do I like being around them? So that is, my love language. And I just love somebody that I could depend on, and not necessarily financial, like just keeping your word. If you say this is what you're going to do and you come through and you do it, like, I feel like that's just so sexy and stuff like that. A lot of time people have just messed up with me just by that, like them not keeping their word, or feeling like you can't depend on it. Like, they say this, but then they don't come through, or they say they're gonna get you or you're gonna do stuff, and they always canceling and stuff like that. And word to the wise, if somebody always canceling on you, or y'all met through the internet, or y'all switch numbers, and he ain't trying to take you out or take you anywhere, he do not like you. I don't care. I always say that, and I just be sitting back like, people love wasting my time. I feel like I was minding my business. Why are you contacting me if you don't have the time? Like, if you're out there dating, then you should make the time. If you want my number, that's how am I supposed to make a connection? We constantly texting. I don't mind texting, but we gotta be around each other. You may not like me being around me. If you just constantly texting and stuff like that, how are we gonna really have a connection? So that really is like a pet peeve. I know I'm supposed to be talking about love language, but yeah, just you keeping your word, and me, quality time, and you just, and I forget what the other love language is. I know the other one's a physical touch. Oh, words of affirmation. I love that too. Like, yes, tell me I'm beautiful. Tell me, you're proud of me, and, you support me, and you doing your thing. Because that's another thing too, ladies. It's a lot of men that sometimes be jealous of your success. That's another issue too. Like, oh yeah, oh, I seen you doing this, but it's like a negative, like, I'm supposed to be your girl. I'm supposed to be somebody you date. You should be proud. But that's neither here nor there. Okay, so what's the other question? Oh, what motivates me? I would say what motivates me, a lot of things motivates me. First, I would say my children. I do everything for my children. But me, I like to look at other people stories. Like, I'll go on YouTube. I forgot, it's a channel, and you could see like how people build their brand or their business, like stories that someone comes from nothing to something. Like, that motivates me to, just making my dreams and my goals come true. So that always motivates me. What makes me angry? To be honest, I was about to cap and say a lot of stuff don't make me angry. I'm so zen. No, I've gotten a lot better. To angry, like you being disrespectful, you being rude, you just being negative, like that. Yeah, like if you just being disrespectful to me, coming at me, or try to play with my intelligence, and like I said, it don't really make me angry. It's just annoying. Or like I said, not keeping your word. That just, I don't know, it does something to me. I don't know if because I was a little girl, and I'm not trying to put anybody on blast. I'm not gonna say who, but when I was a little girl, somebody in my life important to me will always promise me stuff, and I would be sitting in the window waiting for them to come back, or they would say, oh yeah, baby girl, I'm gonna get you this, or I'm gonna come here and take you there, I'm gonna do this, and they would never come through. And it would just break my heart into pieces. Like, so I don't know, when people do that, it kind of brings me back to that. So that's why I'm like hyper independent, I do stuff on my own, because I don't like that feeling. It's just like, especially like if you want to be, hang out with somebody, or if you want to do something with somebody and they do that, it's just like, ugh, I don't like that. I mean, I know things come up, I'm not that anal and stuff like that, but when somebody consistently does it, it makes me feel like you trying to take me for a fool, you trying to play me, or whatever the case may be. So yeah, it is what it is. What kind of music do I like? I like all different type of music. One, because I'm from New York, love hip hop, like the old school, not old school, but I would say from like the 90s to the early 2000s hip hops, 90s R&B to the fullest. Also recently, I've been listening to trail ride music, and because boots, I've been doing boots on the ground everywhere I've been going. So when I ask, I don't want to say her name, because then she going to say, every time I ask her to play boots on the ground, they'll play it, but then they'll play music that's close to it. And I like that trail ride country music. They like I forget what the name, the aunties outside tonight, hey, hey. So that's my new song. It's a couple of songs I'll be saying here, like my baby don't love me no more. So yeah. So do I collect anything? No. Shoes. I love a good shoe. And you know what's funny? I buy so many shoes, all different name brands and stuff like that, and I won't even wear. I might wear them one time, or I might not even wear them, and I'll stick to the same shoe because they're comfortable. Like before, I used to wear shoes that hurt my feet and all that other stuff, and yeah. But now I just love a good shoe. Like I collect shoes. Yeah, so I would say that. Do I have a sibling? Yes, I have a sibling. I have a sister. Shout out to my sister Nia. We're actually 15 years apart. So when she was born, I was the only child before she came. Now, and I was 15 when she was born. So that's like my first baby, right? My blood sister. I don't know if I have sisters or brothers on my father's side, because I'm not close to that side. So as I know, my blood sister is Nia, right? And I have other people like her brother that I consider my brother, and her, we say we brothers and sisters, but my blood sister, I have one blood sister. How would I describe my fashion sense? I would say I have good fashion sense. I'm not that type of girl like, oh, it has to be Dolce & Gabbana, I'm not wearing it. I have an eye for something. I could go on Target, I could go on Shein, I could go Fashion Nova, I could go wherever and pick out something and it will be fly. Like that's just me. Like I have good fashion sense. You'll see, right? What is my greatest achievement? Oh, my greatest achievement. I have so many, but definitely like one of the things that I manifested that I was like, oh my God, was getting my brand in Essence and Ebony magazine. I was like, yes, like I felt in H&M, like I felt accomplished when I did that. And yeah, I have a few. And going to school, oh my God, I was pregnant with my son while I was going to school, and I wouldn't wish that. And I was working full time, and I was an intern working full time, going to school, and pregnant with my son and raising my daughter was 10 at 9, 10. Whew. So yes, that was an achievement. And I was older. I wasn't younger. I was older, going back to college. And I got mostly A's. So I finished at the top of my class. One thing people wouldn't typically know about me. I feel like I've been rambling. I've been telling you guys everything. I told you about the cake boss. I told you I rap, right? So yeah, most people don't know that I rap because, like I said, during the day, I'm a senior business analyst where, you know, big deal. You know what I'm saying? You know, with VPs and all different type of stuff, commissioners, et cetera, et cetera. So a lot of people don't really know that. I mean, most of my coworkers know it now, but at first they didn't know until I did like the thing with Allure. Then, you know, I started telling people and people knew about it. What did you want to be when I was smaller? I wanted to be a writer. I remember saying I wanted to be a writer while everybody's saying they wanted to be doctors, lawyers, this, that. I said I wanted to be a writer. And I actually am, because like I said, I write music, I write poetry, and I will be dropping my children's book maybe in the next month or so. And of course, I'm going to take you along the journey. So I'm super excited about that. I can officially say I'm a author, writer. But also too, my coloring books, I put a poem in the very beginning of it. These are one of my coloring books. So technically I am a published author because all my coloring books have a poem that I write that's in the beginning of the book. What is the next questions? Am I religious? No, I'm not necessarily religious. I'm more spiritual. I believe in God. You know, I pray. I have my own little things that I do. You know, I believe in the universe. I believe in angel numbers. If it's going over your head, you can look it up. So I'm more spiritual in that sense. So, pet peeves. I don't want to say I have a lot of pet peeves, but people like being negative. Like I'm the type of person, and my mom is the same way, my aunt is the same way. Like I have a good time wherever I go. I'm usually dancing, I'm laughing, cracking jokes. But if somebody's like negative and it's like they have a negative aura, energy, they're always complaining about something, just nothing is ever good enough, is a pet peeve of mine. And that's the quickest way for me to go that way and not deal with you. So yeah, that is a very pet peeve of mine. What is my talents? I kind of already told you already. I rap, I know how to do cakes. Oh, I know how to graphic design. I could teach some of you guys some of that stuff as well. I know how to, you ever see like the chip bags, the decorations? I know how to do centerpiece. I know how to decorate real good, do balloons, all type of stuff. So I can teach you guys a little bit of different things. How would you describe yourself in 3 words? I would say that I'm creative. I would say that I'm smart. Like that's one thing I know how to figure out stuff. And I would say I'm talented. And honorable mention, beautiful. All right, so that is it. So make sure you like and subscribe. And I'm gonna figure out a schedule of when I'm gonna drop my vlogs or my videos and stuff like that. So stay tuned for that. Once again, if you finish all of this, thank you for listening to me ramble about my life and all that other stuff. Make sure you subscribe. If you already subscribed, thank you for staying with me for all these years, even though I haven't been posting any videos. I appreciate you. So yeah, so stay tuned and I will talk to you again. Bye-bye.